Right, hello everybody, welcome back to the James Lawrence Alcott channel. We've just watched the Old Firm, Celtic versus Rangers. We're actually in Edinburgh.
Castle just
Well done, Craig.
There.
They wouldn't have spotted it otherwise. But we've just been sitting down, we're on a stag do, as you can hear from my voice. And we've basically got 9 hours to our plane. So we're going to watch the Old Firm, which we've just watched. And we're going to watch Man United versus Burnley. Burnley versus Man United. I know that's really annoying. Let's talk about Celtic versus Rangers first. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Don't hit it right now, hit it at the end of the video if you've enjoyed it. Click the like button as well. But anyway, let's get into the game. 1-0 to Celtic, and I mean, they totally deserved it, didn't they?
1-0 flattered Rangers, to be honest with you. Rangers were poor.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed. I thought with Gerrard behind them, first Old Firm, they'd be really pumped up, fired up. But they were pretty non-existent. Midfield was awful.
The word that comes to mind for me is frustration for Rangers fans there, because I think you're going to be worried about Celtic in terms of them scoring goals, and I think overall you've done well, and that's why it's just a 1-0 defeat, because I think defensively you battled away. McGregor in goal, I thought had a great game.
McGregor had a good game. Defence was reasonably
I thought it was
solid.
strong. The defence was solid.
Yeah, it was.
The big problem throughout the game was going forward. As soon as you got the ball, you were really, really poor. Now, this strand's called the neutral one, and this is a good example of it, because I haven't watched Rangers that much this season. I mean, I haven't watched them at all this season. So these players we're watching for the first time, and we're just getting that first impression on them. I'm sure they're a lot better in different games, but in this game, the midfield is boys versus men, I think, when it comes to Celtic. I thought Celtic were class in the middle of the park. Scott Brown doing his normal irritant work.
As much as you say they were class, I can't help but think it was more Rangers being poor. The Celtic didn't really have to work too hard in the middle. They had so much time on the ball. I
think look in the Old Firm. You're hoping for it to be a cracker of the game. For it to be a cracker, those midfield players needed to do more. Ken, I thought, did okay when he got on the ball sometimes. Jack was picking up the ball way too deep, and Ajaria, who I was really hoping to see something good from, he was really poor.
For the Celtic goal, his tracking was absolutely abysmal, and I think Gerrard's going to blame the referee for not calling a foul, which should have been a foul.
It was a foul. It's definitely a foul for me from Rodgers.
But the tracking was absolutely abysmal. He strolled. He stopped. He strolled, and he just allowed him to wander in. If that was Gerrard, publicly have a go at the ref, but you've got to have a go at the midfield there in the dressing room, because that was abysmal.
Yeah,
and
look, he's the number 10 for Rangers, so you're looking for him to be that bit of composure, the guy you can give the ball to in difficult areas. But I think the speed of the game, like often it does in an Old Firm, it was too much for him.
Yeah, he looked like a boy out there.
He looked scared. He looked a little bit
against
scared.
Scott Brown, you don't want to harry him too much because he's only young, but not great.
But hopefully he'll be better for that. But the midfield were struggling. I thought you could see with the shape of Celtic, they were able to keep the ball so well, picking up the ball in the right areas as well. Nacham, who got the goal, he was class. He was probably my man of the match. But him and Brown dictated the game. Yeah. And on the other side, when Rangers were picking up the ball, the midfield were picking it up too deep. And then if the midfield couldn't pick it up, they were playing it up to Lafferty and Morelos. And both of them had absolute nightmares.
Stinkers, didn't they? They really had stinkers. I mean, it was a difficult game. They were always up against it. They had a lot of work to do. But when they got the ball, there's no composure. Just hold it for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Every time that they went to try and do something unnecessary, like beat them out, when I think they need to hold it, come back and start again.
And when it's a derby game, when it's so hectic like that, you need. And that's what Celtic had. They had such experience, such quality with the ball. Up front, Edouard, they didn't really need to use him that much because Rangers generally backed off them.
Yeah.
But on the other side of it, Scott Brown was getting at them. The whole Celtic side, Forrest, I thought was great. McGregor was getting at them. They're all getting at them. And so when that's happening, you need your centre forward
just to take the pressure. If I was a Rangers defender, I would be so frustrated that you're working your bollocks off. The ball gets into the right areas up front, and it's just given away so cheaply.
And that was obviously the plan for Gerrard. He played Lafferty on that left-hand side, and the idea was you're going to play that diagonal ball, and he could hold up the ball, and it's also an out ball with he can win his flick-ons as well. And he worked hard, Lafferty. He did work hard going back and forth, but on the ball, time and again, Rangers let themselves down a little bit. And I think you actually saw the truth of these two squads here, because even when in the last 10 minutes when they went for a little bit more, understandably Celtic dropped a little bit deeper. There were moments where Barisic at left back, I thought did all right, tried to kind of influence the game in the second half, but his final ball's bad. Tavernier's final cross was bad. He had a chance, Tavernier, right at the end of the game, and again, the final shot or cross was just really, really poor. And Rangers fans, I could understand you'd be very disappointed with Rangers with the ball, not without the ball. I think there are aspects you can go, look, they didn't shit themselves when they went 1-0 down, but you could also say Celtic hit the bar 3 times, I think it was. It could have been a 4-0 game. I think to get out there with a 1-0 defeat,
it's flattering.
It's not the end of the world for Rangers.
Flattering. I think, like you say, everyone was billing this game as the first game since Rangers have been up where there might be a bit more competition. Gerrard's come in, Celtic haven't had the best start. This might be like an old firm of the past when they were more on a level playing field, but it wasn't at all.
Yeah.
It felt like Rangers was still several seasons behind their rebuilding process, and that they could have been in a different division today. It really was men against boys.
I think the bottom line is, for me, watching that game, and you only find out once you see those games, is how many of those Rangers players will get in the Celtic side.
McGregor,
Gordon's a good goalkeeper.
Gordon's a good player.
I think from 1 to 11, I think you probably, if you're honest, you would pick the Celtic player over the Rangers player.
Yeah.
So those are our thoughts on this game. We're going to be doing Burnley versus Man United later.
We do that as well, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, mate, because we've got absolutely nothing else to do. Going to go get some food now. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. So close to 10k now. I think I'm up 56 away. So hit the subscribe button. Can we finish off this stag weekend by hitting 10k? That would be wicked.
Like that, wouldn't you?
I would like that. That'd be good. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tweet us either the podcast at Great Touch for a Big Love, which is at GT4ABL, or mine at James Alcott, and we can have a chat on this lovely Sunday. And let's fade out with a lovely little pan up to the castle again. There we go. Lovely.